explodes Monday at 5.
Tonight, breaking news, a deadly plane crash in Hawaii. What caused a plane carrying skydivers to crash in a fireball shortly after takeoff?
Oh my God, something just crashed and exploded over there,
killing all 11 on board. Also breaking, a sudden reversal. The president delays an immigration crackdown he spent days touting, while he said he is now postponing the plan to deport thousands. And what he said about the operation in our interview this week. After a new accusation of sexual assault against the president.
I fought. It was shocking. It was against my will.
A strong new denial today. A U.S. medical student who disappeared in Mexico 1 week ago is found alive. The mystery tonight over how he vanished and suddenly reappeared. The family of a Navy SEAL charged with murder speaks out about the case, reacts to the stunning admission from a star witness that he was the one who killed a prisoner. And start me up. The triumphant return of the Stones and Mick Jagger, back on stage with all his moves.
This is NBC Nightly News with Jose Diaz-Balart.
Good evening. Breaking news tonight. The death toll has grown in one of Hawaii's deadliest civilian plane crashes. The twin-engine Beechcraft, bound for a skydiving trip, went down shortly after takeoff Friday evening, killing all 11 people on board. One of the victims, just identified, a 36-year-old skydiving instructor named Daniel Herndon. His sister telling us tonight he was adventurous and everybody loved him. The airfield they took off from is on the northern tip of the Hawaiian island of Oahu. NBC's Gotti Schwartz is there and has the latest.
A fiery ending on Oahu's North Shore just moments after a small plane took off, bound for a skydiving adventure.
Assistant 214 with a down aircraft. This is the Dillingham Airfield.
Witnesses captured the burst of flames and tower of smoke after the aircraft went down. All on board perished.
Something just crashed and exploded over there.
The skydiving experience through the Oahu Parachute Center was meant to give guests the thrill of a lifetime as seen in past excursions. But Friday evening, something went horribly wrong.
So we first saw it when we was at kind of point taking pictures. We saw big smoke, but when we was driving this way, we saw big fire. Firemen trying to put it out. Crazy.
Authorities here on the island say several family members of the victims were at the airfield when the crash happened and may have seen the plane go down.
The crash even shaking up experienced emergency responders.
In my 40 years as a firefighter here in Hawaii, this is the most tragic aircraft incident that we had.
The impact so intense, smoke could be seen for miles.
The debris field is not very wide, but the plane is, there's nothing left to the plane, and it's right on the fence line.
As federal investigators look for a cause, the flight has now become one of the deadliest civilian plane disasters in Hawaii's history. Gotti Schwartz, NBC News, Oahu, Hawaii.
Another tragic accident tonight, this one in New Hampshire, a deadly collision involving a pickup truck and 10 motorcycles on a rural highway. Authorities say 7 bikers were killed in the town of Lancaster. The pickup truck was towing a flatbed trailer. The driver survived and is in the hospital. Officials are asking the public to provide any photos, videos, or information about the accident and the vehicles involved. Some more breaking news tonight. President Trump announcing that he is delaying that plan to deport thousands of undocumented immigrants, originally set for tomorrow. The plan causing fear in many communities. We get more from NBC's Ron Allen at the White House.
This morning, President Trump had a strong warning to thousands of undocumented immigrants.
They've been served. They've gone through a process of the courts, and they have to be removed from the country.
ICE agents expected to begin rounding up some 2,000 immigrants, targeting families across the country. But this afternoon, in an about-face, the president called the whole thing off with a tweet. At the request of Democrats, I have delayed the immigration removal process, deportation, for 2 weeks to see if Democrats and Republicans can work together on border issues. A source familiar tells NBC News House Speaker Nancy Pelosi called the president last night and asked him to call off the raids, in a statement calling the operation heartless and brutal. Officials at Homeland Security tell NBC News the operation was stopped because details had been leaked to the media, and ICE did not have plans in place to detain so many immigrants. The threatened roundup spreading fear in immigrant communities nationwide.
We're hard workers, so I'm against what he's doing.
That's not fair to the people that already live here. You know what I mean? That established their homes and livelihood.
Igniting resistance in sanctuary cities like Los Angeles.
Our police do not participate in any administrative immigration actions.
Advocates conducting workshops to help undocumented immigrants know their rights.
This community is very diverse. It's a very loving community, very supportive community.
Everyone very mindful President Trump is still warning the deportations could start in 2 weeks.
And Ron, I mean, it seems like 2 weeks is very little time. What's next there in Washington?
It's unclear exactly. The differences here on immigration, as you know, are deeply entrenched. Issues like funding for a border wall. And the president wants to tighten laws on who is eligible for asylum, fundamental changes. As of now, there's no word on when or if any negotiations will begin.
Ron Allen at the White House, thank you very much. And in an interview with President Trump this week on Telemundo, I asked him about his now delayed plan. This tweet that you did this week: next week, ICE will begin the process of removing the millions of illegal aliens who have illicitly found their way into the United States.
Right. And, you know, many of them are from China. Many of them are from other parts of the world that you wouldn't even believe. And our laws are so bad. Congress has done nothing about our laws and fixing our immigration laws. They're so bad.
Going back to the Latino vote, granted, a percentage definitely supports you, but there are some who fear your rhetoric, who fear what's been going on in the border, who fear that you have said that you will be deporting millions of people.
They want me to do it. They're here illegally.
Mr. President, they do not.
They do.
They do.
You ready? They don't want to lose their jobs. They want to keep their salaries, their wages up, and they don't want crime. When people come through, you have MS-13 coming through.
But
Hispanics.
That's not the majority, Mr. President.
Hispanic, but it's a lot of people.
It may be some.
If it was 1 in 100, it's
the mothers
too many.
that are coming with their children aren't MS-13.
But if it's
the
1
people who
in
are raped in their town and have to leave aren't MS-13.
I agree. But if it's 1 in 100, it's too many. And we're taking them out of our country by the thousands.
The president will also be on Meet the Press tomorrow. Be sure to watch Chuck Todd's interview with the president on a range of issues this week, tomorrow morning on Meet the Press. And now to the confrontation with Iran, and new details emerging tonight about the president's decision at the last minute to cancel an attack on that country in retaliation for shooting down that U.S. military drone. Our chief foreign correspondent, Richard Engel, is in Doha. Richard.
Good evening, Jose. With President Trump today promising to impose new sanctions on Iran, the risk of a conflict may in fact be going up. But at least for now, the two sides seem to be trying to take stock and avoid another military provocation.
The U.S. and Iran pulling back from the brink of war, at least for tonight. President Trump even praising Iran for, like him, showing restraint by only targeting an unmanned drone, not a manned U.S. military aircraft.
They had it in their sights and they didn't shoot it down. That was accurate? I think they were very wise not to do that.
The New York Times reports all of the president's top advisors wanted a strike, including National Security Advisor and Iran hawk John Bolton. But not all the anchors on the president's favorite news channel did.
The very people, in some cases literally the same people, who lured us into the Iraq quagmire 16 years ago, are demanding a new war.
Everybody was saying I'm a warmonger, and now they say I'm a dove. And I think I'm neither. You want to know the truth. I'm a man with common sense.
And now diplomacy? The U.S. envoy to Iran today said the administration wants to force Iran to the negotiating table.
We're going to increase our sanctions on Iran. We're going to continue with this foreign policy.
The president today on Twitter giving a timetable, writing, "We are putting major additional sanctions on Iran on Monday." But tightening sanctions is what caused Iran to lash out in the first place.
The biggest hope for a diplomatic breakthrough could come next week in Japan at the G20. China, in particular, which is highly dependent on oil from here in the Persian Gulf, is likely to push both sides to de-escalate. Jose?
Richard Engel in Doha, thank you. And the president fired back today at his latest accuser, a prominent writer who alleges he sexually assaulted her 2 decades ago. We get more from NBC's Mike Vaquera.
Today, President Trump flatly denied the latest allegations of sexual assault against him.
I have no idea who this woman is. This is a woman who's also accused other men of things, as you know. It is a totally false accusation.
Writer E. Jean Carroll says the alleged assault happened in 1995 or 96 when she ran into Donald Trump while both were shopping at a posh New York department store. She says Trump told her he was gift shopping for a woman and asked for advice. The two ended up in a changing room when, Carroll says, things took a violent turn.
He threw me up against the wall and tried to kiss me. It was so shocking to me.
For the next 3 minutes, she alleges Mr. Trump forced himself on her.
It was against my will. Yes, he penetrated me.
A friend of Carroll's confirmed to NBC News that Carroll told her about the alleged attack the next day. Carroll becomes the 16th woman to accuse the president of past sexual misconduct. In a new book, excerpted in New York Magazine, Carroll writes about a series of what she calls hideous men she's known, some of whom, beginning in childhood and all through her life, sexually assaulted her. Today, the president says her accusation against him is all part of a pattern.
When you look at what happened to Justice Kavanaugh, and you look at what's happening to others, you can't do that for the sake of publicity.
Carroll didn't pursue legal action at the time. Now, she says, she's telling her story to make it easier for others to come forward. Mike Vaquera, NBC News, the White House.
An American who just graduated from medical school in Mexico and then disappeared last weekend while celebrating has been found safe tonight. But there are many questions about what exactly happened to him. NBC's Morgan Chesky has that story.
Tonight, the family of Jesse Pacheco whole again after the 29-year-old disappeared for more than 5 days in western Mexico.
He's found safe, and we're all thankful.
Hours after graduating medical school in Guadalajara, Pacheco was celebrating with a friend, but police say when they left this nightclub, they were attacked. Pacheco vanished. His friend, fellow med student Carlos Delgadillo, beaten, shot, and killed. Details surrounding Pacheco's disappearance are few. Mexican officials only saying he was located after 5 days, spotted on camera at an airport as he was leaving the country with his mother. Mexican police now hoping to learn more about how he was found. Tonight, his family shared their gratitude, writing, "Thank you again to everyone who helped us find Jesse. We couldn't have done it without all your help." A young doctor home safe as authorities look for answers. Morgan Chesky, NBC News.
An update tonight on that massive oil refinery fire in Philadelphia. Though it is now contained, fire crews were still working to put the fire out completely today. That involved turning off a valve that was still too dangerous to get to. A series of explosions were felt for miles, sent a huge fireball into the air. There were no serious injuries. A rare feat today in South Carolina. Almost all of the Democrats running for president gathered in one place for that state's Democratic convention, making their pitches to voters on why they should be the one to challenge Donald Trump. Many will gather again in Miami next week for the first Democratic primary debate, Wednesday and Thursday night broadcast here on NBC. They include Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii, who has served in the House since 2013. What would she do differently if elected president? Harry Smith sat down with her for our series, My Big Idea.
What's your big idea?
My big idea is to bring peace and prosperity to this country by ending these wasteful regime change wars.
In a crowded Democratic field, Tulsi Gabbard stands out. The Hawaiian Congresswoman is Polynesian, born in American Samoa.
Aloha.
And she's an Iraq War veteran. We met her on the Mall in Washington, D.C.
People may not know that you've been in the reserves for years, that you did 2 tours of duty in the Middle East. How did that shape your views vis-a-vis what you're talking about now?
Immensely. Every single day I was confronted with the high human cost of war.
Gabbard wants to end U.S. overseas efforts at regime change. For instance, she opposes the U.S. arming of Syrian rebels. She wants to put more money toward health care, a green economy, and social programs by clawing back trillions of dollars from defense spending.
So I'm just imagining the pushback from all the lobbyists and all the industries that are out there that benefit from the amount of money that we spend on defense. How are you going to tame that pushback?
The power of our democracy and the American people standing up and just saying we are sick and tired of the military-industrial